Okay, good morning. Welcome to this fluid mechanics class. And today I'm going to start module 4. So in module 4, two components are there. One is called dimensional analysis and the other is called boundary layer theory. So the boundary layer theory, I want to do it later. I want to do the other half, which is called the dimensional analysis. Okay. Now all of you know what is a dimension. Dimension means, for example, length. If you want to say the length, then what is the dimension of length? It will be in meters, centimeters, millimeters, like that. Similarly, mass, kg, Newton, okay, kg, like that. It will be pound, kg, and time in second, temperature, Kelvin or degree centigrade. Like that, you have the dimension, that is the unit quantities. They are called as the dimensions. Now, all of you know that we don't use CGS units and MKS units. They are very old, and SI International System has been accepted all over the world. So we use only SI system. So under the SI system, we are talking about in the forces and all the other units in the SI units only. Now, I'll just send you a material in the 4th semester group, dimensional analysis. Can you just open that? Dimension analysis, I've sent you the material. Just open the 4th semester group. Yes, you get it? Okay. Now, in the chapter on dimensional analysis, okay, in the chapter on dimensional analysis, we are going to study, okay, what is the importance of these dimensions? What is the importance of this dimension? And how do we write equations? For example, just go to the second page, you say dimensional analysis. All of you have opened the page? Did you get it, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So dimensional analysis. So second page you go, there you see L means dimensional symbol for length, capital L. Capital M, dimensional symbol for mass. Capital F, dimensional symbol for force. And capital T, dimensional symbol for time. Okay. Now what is the use of this? Where we are going to use this? Just see here. Now I will say F is equal to ma, Newton's second law. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. So F is equal to m into a. Now force is equal to mass. What is the unit of mass? M, capital M. Then acceleration. How do you define acceleration? How do you define acceleration? It is, how do you define acceleration? Acceleration is distance by
change of velocity.
Yeah, rate of change of velocity. So here, just see here, force is equal to mass into acceleration. He has given one example. Therefore, F, see, these three things, M, L, T, that is mass, length, and time are called dimensions. Okay, they are called this is called dimension analysis, and this is called MLT system of dimensional analysis. Okay. Now in the MLT system, what they do, everything they keep it in terms of MLT only. Okay. So I'll just explain one thing now. Length. You see that table 4.4, length. Length is shown like this, L in square brackets, L. Area. Area is what? Length into breadth. Breadth is also length only, no? So L into L. So area is L square. Understood? Length only. Volume. Area into length. So area is L square, length is L, therefore it is L cube. Are you getting the point? How it is? Now, similarly, I will come to the next one, time. Time is T. Velocity. What is velocity? Distance by time. So what is distance? It is a measure of length, L, divided by time, T. So you get L T to the power of -1. Instead of putting L by T, they will say L T to the power of -1. Are you understanding? Are you getting it? Now see the next page. All the so many equations are given. The next page, acceleration, linear velocity by time lt to the power of -2, then velocity, angle by time t to the power of -1. Similarly here, dynamic mass. Mass is what? Force divided by acceleration. So you see, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass is m. Acceleration is, just now we said, lt to the power of -2. So force is equal to, dimension of force is equal to mlt minus 2. Okay. So you know the equation, how they are related. Okay. So for example, power is equal to work divided by time. But what is work? Here he mentions what is work. Work is force into distance. Okay. What is force? Force into distance. Okay. So it will be m L square t to the power of -2. So work divided by time will be m L square t to the power of -3. So like this, they keep getting the various equations in terms of dimensional analysis. Okay. And that is called the dimensional analysis system for any equation or any property. Okay, any equation. So whatever method is there, whatever equations is there. For example, I'll tell you. Now we spoke about Darcy's equation, friction. H is equal to 4FL V square by 2GD. Now, how do I arrive at the dimension of, how do I get the dimensions of all these things, 4FL V square by 2GD? And how do I derive that equation? All these are given by the dimensional analysis. And to get the dimensional analysis, we say there should be homogeneity. Homogeneity means the left-hand equation. All of you know that, isn't it? LHS should be equal to RHS. That means the dimensional quantities available on the left-hand side, LHS, should be equal to the dimensional quantities on the RHS, right-hand side. Only then we say that there is dimensional homogeneity. Okay, it is stable. So that is the meaning of this. Now, in the dimensional analysis, two types are there. One is called the Rayleigh method and the other is called the Buckingham Pi method. The Rayleigh method is not so popular, but the Buckingham Pi method is very popular. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of this Buckingham Pi method? I'll come to the Buckingham Pi method. Just open the next pages, you will come to the Buckingham Pi method. Okay. So the Buckingham Pi method, Pi theorem states that if there are n variables in a dimensionally homogeneous equation, and if these variables contain m primary dimensions, then the variables can be grouped into n minus m non-dimensional parameters. These non-dimensional groups are called pi terms. Okay. So this is difficult for you to understand. So I will tell you in a simple method. Okay. Now, for example, let us take some equation. In that equation, let x, x1, x2, x3 be the variables. Then let x1 be a function of x2, x3 and so on. Okay. Now, rearranging, if you will get f1 of x1, x2, x3 up to the power of xn is equal to 0. Now, in this equation, I am replacing the above equation is dimensionally homogeneous. That means LHS is equal to RHS, and it can be represented in terms of dimensionless pi terms containing n variables and m fundamental fundamental dimensions. So we say that f1 of the function of pi1, pi2, pi3 and so on is equal to 0. Now pi is called a dimensional homogeneity and it will not change. Now there are three, you have to find how many variables are there and all that you have to see here. So for example, I will tell you one example I will take. Yeah. So we get the dimensional groups. Now, how do we do the Buckingham pi method? How we set the equation? First, you have to select the dependent variable as a repeating variable. Okay. Now, you should not take any variable which is repeating. I'll just explain this process when I do one problem. Okay. Yeah. 1 second. I will just send you this material so that it will be easy for you to understand this. Okay. Yeah, just check now. I've sent one problem to the 4th semester group. Just check that one. Yeah, I've sent one problem. When I tell the example, then it's very easy for you to understand what it is. Okay, now example 4.3, I sent you one problem. Just open that. Just now I've sent one sheet here. Just see that one. The power developed by a hydraulic turbine P is dependent on mass density rho of the liquid, the rotational speed n, diameter of the runner d, working head h, and gravitational acceleration g. Okay. Now, sorry. Sorry, I posted the wrong this thing. Sorry. Yeah, please see this problem, what I sent to you. That is a different problem. Sorry for that. Now, just observe here. I have sent this problem 4.9, isn't it? 4.9. Now, the discharge Q, did you get it, all of you? Did you get it? What I sent now? Can you hear me, Tarun?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, just see this example 4.9, you see. Okay. In the example 4.9, I'll read the problem. What it says that the discharge Q over a sharp crested wire is nothing but a notch like thing of height W spanning across a rectangular channel of width B depends on the head H over the wire, gravitational acceleration G, and the fluid property density rho, viscosity mu, and surface tension rho. Perform dimensional analysis for Q. Just I'll read the problem again. Okay, so what he has given now? What is it he has given? He is saying that here's some quantity is there. It is depending on so many other quantities. That means, yeah. That means he's telling that, okay, now there is some a dam like thing, and over that the water is flowing, and the discharge is Q, and the height is W. What is happening is, it is a rectangular channel. That means a channel over which the water is flowing. Now, he is telling that the discharge is depending on so many factors. What are the factors? Height W, width B, head over the wire H, acceleration due to gravity G, density rho, viscosity mu, and surface tension sigma. He is telling that the discharge is depending on so many factors. Perform dimensional analysis. What is the meaning of that? What do you mean by perform dimensional analysis? That means using dimensions, try to bring out a relation between discharge and all these variables. That means how discharge is related to all these variables. What is the meaning of that? Whether it is directly proportional, indirectly proportional, proportional square to the square of that, root of that, cube root of that. That means you have to derive an equation which shows how discharge is varying with all these variables or parameters. That is the meaning of the perform dimensional analysis. Did you understand? Sanjay, are you getting it? You understood? He is telling, I want to find what is discharge. But discharge is depending on so many variables. Perform dimensional analysis means show me how discharge is related to all these variables. Related means, is it directly proportional? Is it inversely proportional? Is it inversely proportional to the root of that or the cube root of that? Or is it equal to the square of that? Or is it equal to the power of 5? Or how these discharge is related to all these variables. Okay. So just see the solution. Are you getting it? Yeah. See the problem. Q is equal to discharge is equal to. So discharge is a function of, because all these are variables, discharge Q is a function of. Yes, what? Can you tell me? Number one, it is a function of the width B, function of the height W, function of the head over the wire H, function of rho, function of G, function of mu, and a function of sigma. So I will write an equation. Q is equal to function of, open the bracket, B, W, H, G, rho, mu, sigma. Understood? Is there any doubt? Jayant? Hello? Did you understand?
No, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you understood, no? So there is some water
Yes,
flowing
yes,
over
sir.
some channel. He wants to find discharge over the channel. That means you want to know how this discharge is related to all these variables. What are the variables? The height over the channel, then W, right? Then the B width, then density, surface tension, all these things. He wants to know how the discharge is related to all these things. So I will say discharge is a function of all these variables. So B, W, H, G, rho, mu, sigma are all variables. So discharge is depending on or is a function of all these variables. So first you write down what are all the variables. Okay, next. I will bring this F this side. So function of, I will include Q also. Q into BWH and all these things is equal to 0. I'll bring it this side. Now observe this. How many variables are there? Hello? Yeah, tell me. See the problem and tell me how many variables are there?
8.
8 variables are there. So write down. Total number of variables, it is called N. Total number of variables, N is equal to 8. Total number of fundamental dimensions, M, is equal to 3. Now, what do you mean by fundamental dimension? Okay, I will explain that one. Fundamental dimension means you have to take one number, just tell you. Yeah, now you have to take, now what are the repeating variables you have to take? That is called M. Okay, total number of variables is N. Total number of variables is N. n is equal to 8. Now, total number of repeating fundamental dimensions. Total number of fundamental dimension means you should take, okay, one geometric property. You should take one geometric property. Geometric property means what? Length. Okay, you should take that. Then another one you should take, another one you should take this three properties are there. One is called the geometric property. Then the other is called the constant. One second, I'll just show which page it is. Now you see how many variables are repeating. Okay. Now, how do you select the repeating variables? First, see, one geometric property you have to take, one flow property you have to take, and one fluid property you have to take. Now, what is the meaning of geometric property? Geometry, that is length. Okay, width, height, all those things. So geometric property, one you have to take. Okay, so here what geometric property we will take? Here he has given width b. Okay, so one geometric property you take. That is the length, diameter, height are all called geometric properties. Then you take one fluid property. What is one fluid property? Density. What is a fluid property? Density, viscosity, all these things are fluid property. So you take one fluid property. So here density is there. I will take density as fluid property. Then take one flow property. What is the flow property? Velocity, acceleration, etc. So do we have anything here? Velocity, acceleration, anything? Yes? Velocity, acceleration, then what is flow property? What else is there? Surface tension is there. That is also property. Okay. So total number of fundamental dimensions. These are called fundamental dimensions. So m is equal to 3. That means one flow property, one geometry property, one fluid, fluid property. These three things you have to take. So m is equal to 3. Total number of pi terms, we call it as pi. I will tell you how we get that. Total number of pi terms is equal to n minus m. N minus m means 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. So you will have 5 pi terms, which means you will have this as a function of 5 pi terms. Therefore, f1 of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4, pi 5 is equal to 0. 5 pi terms are there. Okay. N minus m will give you the number of pi terms. Now, what is pi 1? What is pi 2? What is pi 3? We have to decide now. I told you, you select h, g and rho as the repeating variables. What is the meaning of that? And why should we select h, g and rho? Because h is a geometric property in this equation. Then density is a fluid property. Density is a fluid property. And flow property is g, acceleration due to gravity. This is the flow property. So these are called repeating variables. So what I will do, I will write pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4, pi 5 is equal to, pi 1 is equal to. Now keep h, g and rho as repeating variables. That means everywhere it will appear in all the pi terms. So h into h to the power of a1 into g to the power of b1 into rho to the power of c1. Okay, because why I write a1, b1, c1? Because I don't know the value, isn't it? I don't know, is it square or root or how it is related? I don't know. Into, I'm telling you again, repeating variables are h, g and rho. How I got h, g and rho? One fluid property, one flow property, one geometry property I have fixed. Next. So h to the power of a1, g to the power of b1, rho to the power of c1. All this is constant. Keep it repeating. Now, after this, take one of the variables. You can take any variable. So first I will take q. into Q. Next, phi 2 is equal to H rho, Hg and rho will be same. Hg and rho will be same. Understood? Hg and rho will be same. Now what do you have to do now? If Hg and rho are same, H to the power of A2 into G to the power of B2 into rho to the power of C2 into, I will take the next variable. After Q, it is B. Okay, into B. Then phi 3, Hg rho is constant again, same repeating. To the power of A3, B3, C3 into, which is the next term, W. Then H, A to the power of 4, G, B to the power of 4, rho C to the power of 4 into, which is the next variable, mu. See, you can take, it need not be in the same order. Whichever order you take, you will get the same answer. Then into mu. Then H, phi 5 is equal to H, A to the power of 5, G, B to the power of 5, rho C to the power of 5 into sigma. Once you do that, you will get, okay? Substitute, no, so the first pi term, pi 1, I will take pi 1. Pi 1 is equal to H, A to the power of A1 into G to the power of B1 into rho C1 into Q. I will take this first one. This is called first pi term. Now there are 5 pi terms. I am doing the first pi 1 term. So, okay. Now substitute the dimensions of this on the LHS and RHS. Now, pi 1. So we say this is called MLT analysis, mass, okay, MLT analysis. So left hand side there is nothing. So M to the power of 0, L to the power of 0, T to the power of 0 is equal to, now what is H? Height. What is the unit of height? Length. L to the power of A1 into acceleration due to gravity. We discussed just now. Acceleration due to gravity. It is what? Meter per second square, correct? Meter is L, second square is T to the power of minus 2. Okay? L, T to the power of minus 2 to the power of B1 into, what is density? What is the unit of density? Meter cube per kg per meter cube or what? Correct? Kg per meter cube. It is the unit of density. Kg is what? Mass, M. Meter cube per what did I do? Yeah. Density is what? Kg per meter cube, isn't it? So M into, see somebody has made some distance, T to the power of minus 3 to the power of C1 into discharge. What is the unit of discharge? Meter cube per second. L cube into T to the L cube. Instead of writing divided by T, they will write T to the power of minus 1. Now equate LHS with RHS. Left hand side is equated with right hand side and compare the powers of M, L and T. So LHS power of M is 0 is equal to, where do you have M? Is equal to C1. C1 has got M is equal to C1. Next, L, power of L. Left hand side 0 is equal to, where do you have L? Here, A1 plus B1 minus 3 C1. This is, he has made a mistake here. It is minus 3 C1. This is L. Okay, ML minus 3 it is, not T, ML minus 3. So I will get this value. Then T, left hand side 0 is equal to, where is T? On the right hand side. So minus 2 B1. Okay, then where is T here? Minus 1. Yeah. So I will get, therefore, B1 is equal to minus 1 by 2. Then substitute for B1 in this equation. I will get the value of A1. C1 is equal to 0. Therefore, pi 1 is equal to, understood? Pi 1 is equal to H to the power of A1. What is A1? Minus 5 by 2. G to the power of B1. What is B1? Minus half. So G to the power of minus half into rho to the power of 0 to Q. Therefore, pi 1 is equal to Q. So Q divided by, okay? Divided by, I will get H square into root of GH, or I can write h to the power of 5 by 2 only, no problem. H to the power of 5 by 2 into square root of G. H to the power of 5 by 2 into square root of G. Okay. Now I'll repeat again. The procedure is as follows. First, take the equation. Find out all the variables, put it in the bracket. Find how many variables are there. Okay. Then fix. Let the number of variables be equal to n. So n is equal to 7 or n is equal to 8, let it be. You say n is equal to 7. 7 variables are there. Then what you do? Immediately you fix the repeating variables. How do you fix the repeating variables? Out of the given variable parameter, one should be geometry property. Geometry property means length, width, area. Then another should be fluid property, that is the density, viscosity, and that. Another should be a flow property, that is velocity, acceleration, and all. So in the given thing, fix these three. Okay. Now n minus m, fundamental dimension is 3 only. N minus m will give 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5. Okay. Fundamental dimensions are MLT, so that is 3. So n minus m, you will get 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. So because you got 5, there are 5 pi terms. Okay. So pi 1 is equal to, select the 3 repeating variables. How to select? I told you, one geometry, one fluid, and one flow property. Keep that same for all the pi terms. Then the last one, parameter in all the equations, you keep all the other variables, Q, B, W, U, all the other things you keep it. Then pi 1 is equal to, take the first equation, equate the powers of LHS to RHS. Equate the powers of LHS with RHS. Then left hand side is always going to be 0. MLT, M0, L0, T0. Equate that with the fundamental quantities which are there on the right hand side. When you do that, you say you give it the value A to A1, B1, C1 to the power of. Okay. When you do that, then you have to find the value of A1, B1, and C1. Substitute the value of A1, B1, C1 in the equation. Then you will get what is the value of A1, B1, and C1. Substitute that in the pi 1 term. Then you will get pi 1 is equal to Q divided by h to the power of 5 by 2 into root G. Okay. I here split it and shown h squared into root of GH. Okay. Here shown like that also. So whichever way, I am getting h to the power of minus 5 by 2. I will write h below h to the power of 5 by 2 in the denominator. Now, what is the advantage of this? I got pi 1 is equal to Q by h to the power of 5 by 2 into root G. This is one relation, pi 1. So I got how the discharge and head are related. Okay. Similarly, I will do pi 2. Okay. Pi 2 I will do. Now I found that similar analysis I will do. I found that pi 2 is equal to B by H. Similarly, I will do pi 3. Pi 3 is equal to W by H. I will do pi 4. Pi 4 is equal to mu by H rho into root 2 GH. Then I will find pi 5 is equal to sigma by rho G H square. Now substitute all this in the equation. I told you F is a function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 and all that. What is pi 1? Put the value of pi 1. Pi 2, pi 3, pi 4, pi 5 is equal to 0. When you do that, you will get, take this discharge. He's asking how is discharge related, isn't it? So Q divided by h to the power of 5 by 2 is equal to a function of, when you're taking it this side, you write phi into some function, phi or theta, whatever you want, you can give, into all these quantities you put on the right hand side. Or Q is equal to, you send this also to the right hand side, h squared into root 2 GH phi into all these things. Now, what is the use of this? I found out how discharge is related with respect to B, how discharge is related with respect to H, how discharge is related with respect to G, with respect to mu, with respect to sigma. Did you understand the point? I got a generalized equation. Q is equal to so much. That means Q is depending on all these things. All these things are variables. So I got a formula, I got an equation for discharge Q. And I can say that discharge is varying with all these variables or parameters in this way. Is it clear? Is it clear now? Tomorrow I'll be repeating this another problem. So many problems are there. You do 3-4 problems, you will understand how to do the Buckingham pi. This is called the Buckingham pi theorem. You will understand. Any doubts? I'm sure you will have doubts. If you have understood, fine. But still, I feel you have doubts. Yes, any doubts? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the last parameter, how to know that which parameter we have to choose among all the equations we have? The
Yeah,
last
correct.
one, last parameter.
I'll do one thing. And the next class, same problem I'll repeat again. Then take another problem. 1 or 2 problems I'll do. Then you will understand completely. Okay. So I'll do that thing again. I will repeat the same problem tomorrow, the next class.